Hello, everybody. Hello, and thank you for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. I've actually got an announcement to make in a couple of minutes here at the end of this video, so it's not going to be a long one, but here's what we're going to talk about. But I do have a channel update for you regarding myself at the end of this video. Just wanted to give you guys that, just a heads up. So, as pertains to the title, it's over. It's over, man. This season is not officially over, but to me last night signaled to me in that loss over the Pittsburgh Penguins, losing 4-1. It signaled to me, at least from what I was seeing from the way the Canadiens were playing, that it's over. So I'll get into that in a moment here. Brandon Gignac appears to have cleared waivers. We won't get a waiver wire announcement until about an hour, which I don't have that kind of time because I'll be heading into work, so I'm having to do this video. But all signs indicate that he's going to clear, but that's not 100% still. So, anyways, the Struble injury last night, we're hoping it's not serious, of course, but there is no update currently at this time. There may come one later today, but again, I'm just getting this in. By the time you watch this video, there may be some updates on the waiver wire and Struble's injury. So forgive me for not being perfectly on time today, but I'm doing my best and still coming off of an illness myself. So for me, the focus is now shifting to the trade deadline and the draft lottery for the Montreal Canadiens, because in 2 weeks today, it is the NHL trade deadline, where the Canadiens are either going to get even trimmer, they're going to trim some more players from their roster, or they're not. But that's the expectation, is that they're going to at least try to trade a couple of them. Jake Allen, possibly David Savard. Is there interest for Yoel Armia or Josh Anderson to take on the remaining 3 years of his contract? We don't know, but we'll get into it. So as far as last night's game went for the Montreal Canadiens against the Pittsburgh Penguins, coming here from Arpin Basu, this was the Canadiens' season-long fourth straight game, lose a season-long fourth straight game, and fall to 3-9-1 in their last 13 games. They allowed at least 3 goals in 11 of those 13 games. Last night, we saw Caden Primo take the net for the Habs between the pipes. Mike Matheson opened the scoring for the Canadiens off a turnover from Chris Letang, and then Chris Letang repaid the favor with 2 goals of his own, one being an empty netter in that game. But a game where I just felt like the Canadiens just couldn't get their footing. And I didn't mean to overhype Colin White, by the way. He actually played a few more minutes than your typical brand new player to the roster who has had no practice time whatsoever with his new team. He has not. But I thought Colin White looked okay. He helped generate kind of the first goal with Mike Matheson in a sense of being on the ice at that time. He didn't create the turnover, but he was on the ice. He had some drives to the net. He looked responsible out there. He didn't have any big mistakes. So I wasn't trying to overhype Colin White, but I'm always excited for a guy to put on the Montreal Canadiens jersey for the first time. I'm always excited to see somebody new have that privilege. So anytime that happens, I always find that there's a spark, there's a shot of adrenaline that goes through players, right? Especially young players. But Colin White isn't young. I mean, he's 27, and we're going to see if he remains the Canadiens the rest of the way and see if he becomes a stronger depth piece. I don't know that I saw enough from him to say that he's better than Jake Evans. I don't think so. So whenever Christian Dvorak and Kirby Dach come back, is there room for Colin White in the depth chart with Owen Beck possibly coming up next year? I don't know that. I think Owen Beck needs to go to Laval first. But I don't know that Colin White will be at the Canadiens after this season. I just don't see it right now. I don't know. But they need some depth because injuries continue to happen, apparently. So anyway, for me, it's over for the Habs this season. I just feel like, based on what we saw last night, and you know what? Josh Anderson, watching him play and seeing his continued frustration and not being able to hit the score sheet and just trying to do a lot on his own. And I thought to myself today, maybe a change of scenery would be good for Josh Anderson. But then I also thought, he's got 3 years remaining on his deal, and next season I do expect the Canadiens to take a good step forward with a healthy Kirby Dach in the lineup, with hopefully another potential top 6 forward added to the lineup. We're going to see how the Canadiens make changes this summer. Kent Hughes has said that next season is going to be a major shift in the rebuild. So that's what I'm expecting from the Canadiens next season, is to see the draft. I don't think free agency will necessarily be a big player in it, not yet. But I do think that there's opportunity. I mean, there's guys available like Jake Gensel, for example. They could use an upgrade on the top 6. The Trevor Zegers rumors. Is there going to be a move made for him? So that being said, I just think it's over for the Canadiens this season. They're 27th. Ottawa is 1 point behind the Canadiens right now. And Montreal will then likely move into 28th position. I'm actually going to pull up the standings really, really quickly. Wow, that was quite the jumble there. Really, really quickly here, because again, just for clarity, the Canadiens are in 26th. Sorry. So Ottawa will move up most likely into 26th ahead of the Canadiens anytime now. The Canadiens will then move into 27th, and then the Arizona Coyotes, who are sitting at 50 points, 2 points behind the Canadiens. Yes, they're in a big-time losing streak, as some of you guys mentioned, but I expect them to pass the Canadiens potentially here. I just think the Canadiens' wind is out of their sails, and I think that they just excuse me. I think they're at a point where they kind of know it too. So I don't expect the Canadiens to keep pushing forward to do anything that's going to produce a lot more wins the rest of the way this season. They're going to keep trying, but I think that the absence of Sean Monahan is really going to start to show as teams are ramping up here. I mean, the Canadiens are losing to Washington, Pittsburgh, teams that are just clawing to stay in the playoff mix here, but it's just not looking good. Not looking good for the Habs. Gignac, like I mentioned, does appear to have cleared waivers, so he will report to Laval if he clears. And I'm going to bring up the Elliot Friedman tweet here. This is the most clarification we have at this point. Elliot Friedman here. We will get clarity closer to waivers in an hour, but expectation is Arizona is going to waive Adam Ruzicka for the purposes of contract termination. Now, that doesn't apply to the Montreal Canadiens. Like, what does that have to do with Brandon Gignac? It doesn't, but that's the only update we've had on waivers. And at 1:20 right now, we're going to get an update after 2 o'clock on waivers. So say what you will, you'll know the update by the time you watch this video. But I hope that Brandon Gignac will clear waivers. He's on a 2-year deal, just re-signed by the Montreal Canadiens, and he's going to go back to Laval and hopefully help them with a playoff push. That's the whole idea here. He was the leading scorer before he got called up by the Canadiens. So hopefully Gignac can go back to Laval and only help that further along, getting Laval to the playoffs and having a successful playoff run. And again, hopefully the Jaden Struble injury is not serious. And this is what leads me into the channel update. So basically what's happening here is I need to take a break, another one here. And it's not because of illness. It's because I have some other things in my life that need some attention, and I just need to focus on them. Now, unless it's big news, I probably won't be doing a video on it. I'm not going to be doing post-game videos for a little while here. So unless there's major news from the Canadiens in terms of a trade or what have you, I won't be jumping on the channel here for a little bit. I will be jumping on between now and the trade deadline if there's trades, like I said. But if Logan Mailloux gets called up because of a Jaden Struble injury here, which could happen maybe, I'm not sure that I'm going to react to that. I would like to, because it's a big deal for him to make his NHL debut. We all want to see what he can do. He's having a really good season with Laval. I don't know if I'm going to be able to react to it or not, but I will be watching the Canadiens game still as much as I can, but I won't be necessarily doing as many videos for the next little while here, just to give myself a mental break and just focus on some other areas of my life that need some attention, family, spiritually. Was he going to talk about Jesus again? Talk to us about Jesus. He loves you, by the way. Yes. But no, I'm not going to be talking to you about it more than that. I don't want to offend anybody, but he loves you. So I'll say that. But I'll also say that I do need to go into some, goal setting things and just refreshing and just refocusing things in my life that need priority. And I love you guys, and I love the Habs, but these things need some attention. So that's pretty much the update. And then the attention for the Canadiens side of things will shift to the trade deadline and the draft lottery, where I really hope that the Canadiens get a top 5 pick again this year to help the rebuild along, because it could really make a difference in terms of what they're going to do this summer, adding to the top 6 forward group, possibly, maybe. All right. So that's the update, guys. I will see you as soon as possible. Thank you for your support no matter what I do. I appreciate you guys so much. Seriously, thank you for all the new subscribers that have jumped on. I'm not jumping away from content here. I'm just needing a mental break. I take these every season. I recommend them for every creator out there. I need them, and I appreciate them, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Seriously, thank you so much for all your support thus far this season. It means the world to me. I love doing this. I love the Habs. So I just wanted to say that. Well, I had a minute here to show you some gratitude and some love. Thank you all so much. I'll see you real soon. Go Habs, go, no matter what. Thanks, you guys. Talk soon.